Hello fans and friends of Delta 4x4. Today we are very proud that Tomas is here, Tomas Slavik. He's a pro mountain biker and we had the chance to equip his van with our rims and our loader tires, and so we also took the chance to make a small interview with him. So let's dive straight into our interview with Tomas. Tomas, for everyone who doesn't know you, tell us, who are you and what are you doing?
So what's up guys, my name is Tomas Slavik, I'm coming from Czech Republic, I'm 34 years old, riding for Red Bull Ghost bikes, and I'm a professional mountain bike rider.
Thank you very much for your visit here in Unterumbach, where Delta 4x4, our company, is located. So tell me about you. You are a legend in mountain biking, I read, so tell me about it. How long are you already doing this sport?
So I started riding my bike at the age of 5 or 6 years old, so I'm almost racing over 28 years, which is crazy number. We just talked about it a few hours ago, and I gotta say it's been a long time. But you know what's cool thing about it, that when I started at the age of 6, I was having so much fun riding my bike, and at the same time now I'm 34 years old and still having the same fun and still having the same joy. And I think this is very important.
And that's awesome. I'm very happy for you. That's basically the most important thing. For that people who ain't that much in mountain biking, tell me about the sport. In which disciplines are you taking part?
So at the age of 6, I started with BMX racing, which is on a small BMX bikes, racing 8 riders on a track. Now it's an Olympic sport, and after the Olympic Games 2008, I started with mountain biking, especially with gravity racing, which means that I'm riding just down the hill, not up the hill. I'm racing 4-cross, which is 4 guys down the track. Who's the first in the finish is the winner. Then I'm doing dual slalom. It's the same thing, just in 2 guys on a separated tracks. And then at the last years, I'm doing really often the urban downhill, which is just going as fast as possible down the city and trying to score the best time. And that's it. That's probably enough already.
So I hear you already have a long career in the sport with such a big history in mountain biking. What are your personal highlights?
So I think the biggest highlight of my career was 2010 World Champs in Montserrat in 4-cross, where I was the youngest world champion. I won my first ever world champion title and rainbow stripes, and that was really a big breaking point. And afterwards it was like an avalanche. You know, the other result, like, really big for me, getting into top 3 of my main highlights of my career is definitely winning Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Bajo, which is the most difficult and craziest urban downhill race. And then of course being a king of Crankworks, which is a series of races the whole season. It's a World Series, World Tour race, and you actually racing in several different disciplines, and at the end of a year there is a winner coming out afterwards. And I was that lucky that I was the winner at 2016. So this is my 3 biggest highlights of my career.
Wow, that's incredible. After those glory stories, tell me about the bad sides of the sport. Crashes. What's the worst thing happened to you during all those years?
You know, I'm always doing the same thing. I'm always knocking on something, and I've been so lucky in my career that I didn't have any serious injury. Like, of course, I broke few bones. I broke my collarbone 2 times. I broke ligaments in my ankle, but it's not like a serious injuries. It takes a few weeks time, and you're back on the track. So I'm really lucky that never happened something like this. And if I would say, or if I would choose one crash, which was the most serious one, I would definitely choose the one from 2019, actually from Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Bajo, where I was fighting for my 3rd consecutive win in there. And I crashed in really high speed, landed on my head. I was unconscious for 5 minutes, broke 5 ribs, broke ligaments in my ankle. And it was a really scary crash, and I'm lucky that I gotta say I'm quite fit and I'm in a good shape, and that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't get hurt even more, and I was able to be racing 8 weeks afterwards. So it was not such a big deal thing, but definitely there was the scariest crash, which could end up way worse than it ended. So that was the one which was really a danger one, I gotta say. Yeah, it was. Honestly, that crash was a heavy hit. It was like you probably like not able to get up uninjured from crash like this. I got up, but with minor injuries, but really lucky. I was really lucky.
So there are definitely limits in the sports, as I see. Is it a fault of the sponsors who are pushing athletes to do year after year crazy things, or is it more like a development in each sport which makes everything more and more dangerous?
I think you know, you can see it in all other sports and all other disciplines. You can see 15-year-old snowboarders winning X Games and 12-year-old skaters, girls winning the world champs. So, like, the sport is really progressing, and it's progressing absolutely everywhere. We're just getting closer and closer to the limit, not even just of our bodies, but of our equipment. Our equipment is getting better and better, which is allowing us to get even further over your limit. So it gets sometimes really scary. And I remember the years where you could race the urban race and you could do a safe run and you could win it. But nowadays, the level is so high. It's like pushing every year somewhere else. And if you want to win the race, like the biggest races of urban racing, you really need to focus on that final run, go there and push it over the limit. Otherwise, you have zero chance of winning. But once you're pushing over the limit, then the injuries comes. So you need to play it smart, and you need to think a little bit ahead, because the athlete's career is not just about one race, it's about the complete career. And if you want to have a successful career, you have to really play it smart sometimes. And sometimes, I also say sometimes slower is faster. You know, if you play it smart, you slow down in sketchy sections and then you push it to the limit on the safe sections. That's also the key. So yeah, the limits is getting crossed more and more, and without it, there's no victories.
So one more question. What are your goals for the future on and off the mountain bike?
So if we talk about the goals for my future, for my career, it's been the same goal from always. Like when I was a little kid, the biggest factor for me was the fact of joy, that I was enjoying every second, every meter on the track. And I think this is the most important thing. And I hope for the future I will still enjoy every meter and every second spent on my bike. And if I would say what's my biggest goal, this is definitely my biggest goal, that's for sure. And if we talk about what I'm gonna do after my career ends, I think we're at the age when the career doesn't need to end up so soon, because with all this social media life and development of the new bicycles and doing events, as I also organize events, there is so many options what I can do in the future. But I'm definitely gonna stick to the bicycle industry and to the mountain bike industry, and I'm just gonna keep on rolling. Maybe not racing, but I'm still gonna be there in the industry, because it's always been my lifestyle, it's always been my life, and it's gonna be my lifestyle until the end, probably.
So thank you very much for your visit here in Unterumbach at Delta 4x4. Thank you for your time. It was a really nice interview, very interesting. So stay healthy.
Yeah, thank you very much also for having me. Really looking forward for upcoming years together, and I think we're gonna have fun together. That's it, that's a wrap.
We've done it. That's a wrap.